Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Anita Crochets. My name is Anita. So today I'm going to be sharing this Rasta color shell stitch dress. Now first of all, I am working with leftover yarn. So these are some of the projects I choose to work whenever I have plenty of leftover yarn. And to start with, I'm going to be doubling my strands because I'm working with robin. It's 100% acrylic and it's 50 grams, okay? So I'm going to be, this is size 2, so I'm going to be doubling my strands, okay? And now you will need a darning needle, a pair of scissors, a hook, and I'm working with a 3.5 millimeter hook. That's an E hook. So you can just either work with a 4 millimeter or 3.5 millimeter. They all work very, very well. Okay, let's get started. My project fits a size medium bust of 36 to I think it can also try out the 38, okay, because I really feel like, yeah, it's big enough, so it can also go all the way up to 38 inches for the people that have a 38-inch bust, okay? And so far I've already worked at least part of it, and this is how it looks like. I'm just going to be taking you through just a few steps on how to achieve this before I can now start continuing with this very same project all the way down. I am going to make a knot. This is to make my breast cups and get my hook. I chained 30. That is for the length that I want for my breast cup. Okay, so here we are with 30 chains, and yarn over into the third chain stitch from the hook. You work a double crochet and continue working one double crochet into every stitch until you get to the very last stitch. Yes, so here we are into the very last stitch. You are going to work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets again, all in the very same stitch. So we shall just pull this so we close up that gap. And now yarn over. We are now going to start working on the opposite side of our foundation chains. So we are going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch and do the same all the way down until we come to the end of the stitches on the opposite side. So this is how it looks like, okay? That's my first row. I'm not going to change colors, but you can be changing colors for every row that you work if you want something multicolored, okay? If you want something plain, then yeah, just go on. So here we chain 2 and turn our work. Into the very first stitch, we work 1 double crochet. Continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the chain 1 space at the peak of our work that we worked, okay? So once here, up here, where we see our chain 1 space, there is where we are going to yarn over, and into that chain 1 space we work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets again, all in that very same chain 1 space, okay? And then now we start working on the opposite side of the previous rows. So we work 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way down. So once you've come to the end of your row, we are literally just going to repeat what we did. Chain 2, turn your work, work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the chain 1 space at the peak of your work. Once there, you work 2 double crochets into that chain 1 space, and then chain 1 again and work 2 double crochets once again in the very same chain gap. So you will do that for a couple of rows that you feel are close to giving you your bust, like the breast cup fit for your bust or your breast. Okay, let me see. I worked 1 2 3 4 5 6. I worked 6 rows before I worked the shell design, because remember, if you go wider, you also have to make room for this. Okay, so I worked 6, and if your size is small, you can just work 4. That is up to here. Then we shall go ahead and put the shell design and all that. So just work your rows, okay, until you achieve those that you are comfortable with, can fit your bust. Okay, and keeping in mind that you also have that shell design to go all the way around the breast cup. So don't make it too large and don't make it too small. Okay, so I have my 4 rows. Okay, this is just for a demo, so that's why I'm working just a few rows, because I've already gone through this almost twice. So here we chain 4, skip the first stitch, because two of these are going to act as a half double crochet stitch. Okay, 3 of the chains are going to act as a stitch, and then that means it had to be here. So we are going to skip this and then work into the 3rd stitch right there. We work a half double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, work one half double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, 1 half double crochet in the next, and we do this until we get all the way up. So let me get there and show you how to work the next stitch, into the next stitch. Okay, as you can see, I skip 1, and right there, that's where I have to work my half double crochet. I'm not going to work a chain, so I'll just yarn over into the chain 1 space at the peak. Right there, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet, then chain 1, and work 1 half double crochet once again in that very same chain gap. Now into the next stitch, I work 1 half double crochet just like that. Okay, and then chain 1, skip 1, work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and do that until I come to the end of my row. So once I'm at the end of my row, I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work into this very first chain gap. I'm going to work 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to skip this half double crochet and skip the chain 1 space, then work into the next half double crochet stitch. I'll work a single crochet. Yes, so I'll chain 3, and I'm going to skip this chain 1 and half double crochet. Now into the next chain 1 space, I'll work a single crochet, chain 3, skip this half double crochet, the chain 1 space, and now into the next half double crochet, I'll work a single crochet. Okay, now I'll skip this chain 1 space, into the next half double crochet stitch right there. I'm going to work 6 double crochets, 2 3 4 5 and 6. So I'll work a single crochet into the next half double crochet stitch right there. Okay, then chain 3, skip the chain 1 and half double crochet stitch, into the next chain 1 space, you work a single crochet, chain 3, skip the half double crochet, chain 1 space all, and then work into the next half double crochet stitch. Okay, yarn over, skip the chain 1, and then into the next half double crochet stitch, you work 6 double crochets. and then skip the chain 1 and into the next half double crochet stitch you work a single crochet. Now chain 3, skip the chain 1 and half double crochet stitch, into the next chain 1 space you work a single crochet, chain 3, skip the half double crochet, then the chain 1 space, into the next half double crochet stitch you work a single crochet. Now skip the chain 1 and then into the next half double crochet stitch you work 6 double crochets into that very same stitch. Skip the chain 1, into the next half double crochet stitch you work a single crochet. Okay, chain 3, work in between the 2 half double crochets before the peak, okay, just like that. And now here we are going to work into the chain 1 space at the peak, okay, right there. So into that chain 1 space we work 10 double crochets. And now we work a single crochet in between the 2 half double crochets right there, just like we did on the opposite side, and then we chain 3, we work into the next half double crochet stitch, we work a single crochet, and then into the next double crochet stitch we work 6 double crochets, and then work a single crochet into the next half double crochet stitch. Now you are going to go all the way down doing exactly what we have done on this side, okay, just go all the way down following what I have been showing you here. Now I'm going to get back once you are done with that, then show you how to work the next row. Okay, so here we are. Now I am going to chain 3, actually I'm going to chain 4 and turn my work. I'm going to skip the first stitch and work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, work 1 double crochet. Remember we started with 3 double crochets, so this is what I also have at the end of my row, and then I'll work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, just like that, okay. So now I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the chain 3 space, and then chain 3, work a single crochet into the next chain 3 chain gap, yarn over, work 1 double crochet. I'll skip these chains and then work 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1. I'm going to do this for all the 6 double crochets we worked for the previous row, on the previous row. So you just chain 1 until you have all 6 double crochets. Once you have all that, you're going to work a single crochet into the next chain 3 space, then chain 3, work a single crochet into the next chain 3 gap, okay. Then now work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet stitch, okay, chain 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, and do this until you have all 6 double crochets. So once here, after you chain 3, you get into the next double crochet stitch and work a double crochet, chain 1, into the next double crochet stitch you work a double crochet, you chain 1, work a double crochet in the next, and this you do until you have all the 6 double crochets that you must have. So here we work a single crochet into the next chain gap, and now because we don't have 2 chain gaps here, on my other piece I do have 2 chain gaps, but because we don't have 2 chain gaps here, we shall not work chains, okay. So what we do is we just get into the next double crochet stitch and work a double crochet, and we do exactly what we have been doing, chaining 1 and working a double crochet into the next stitch, okay, until you have this shell complete. And this is the shell that is for our pick. That's where our strap has to go. That's why there are more double crochets on this shell than any other shell, okay? Because if you don't do that, you may not have the curve that you want. If you work a few double crochets, you may not have this sort of like curve. So here you work a single crochet into the next chain gap, you yarn over, work a double crochet into the first shell, the first double crochet of the next shell, and just do exactly what we have been doing. I just wanted to show you how to work the peak, so I'm going to let you guys work all the way down on your own, okay? Then I'm only going to get back and show you how to work the very last row of our breast cup. Okay, so once you have your row complete, this is how my work looks like. Okay, you see that? I'm going to chain 6, okay? Now I'm going to get back and work a slip stitch into the 4th chain stitch of the 6 that I worked, okay? Just like that. So literally I have created a picot. So I'm going to skip this chain gap and then work into the double crochet stitch. I'll work 1 double crochet just like that, and here I'm going to chain 3. I'll get back into the first chain stitch and work a slip stitch. So I have created a picot, and then I'm going to skip the chain gap and work into the next double crochet stitch. See what I have? And now here I'm just going to get into the chain gap and work a single crochet. Okay, now I'm going to start working on the next shell. So into the very first double crochet of that shell, you work a double crochet and then chain 3, work a slip stitch into the 3rd chain stitch, get back and work 1 double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. So do the same, chain 3, get back and work a slip stitch, creating a picot, then work a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. You see what we are having? So literally this is our last row for our shell stitch, okay? And now, yes, once again, 3 chains, get back into the 3rd chain stitch and work a slip stitch. Into the next double crochet stitch, you work a double crochet. So this you are going to do all the way around, okay? Just like that. And just like that. And once here you work a single crochet into the next shell stitch. So this is what I have, and as you can see, it looks really neat, okay? So I'm just going to let you guys continue with this because it's very simple, and I know you guys can like just work this all the way around just like we have been doing, okay? Okay, you see that? So just do this all the way up, okay? And all the way around until you come to the end of your breast cup. So once you have come to the end, you're going to just rewind and go back to from where we started and see how we have been working everything, because I'm going to need you to do the same for your other breast cup, okay? So once you have both breast cups complete, then we are going to start working the body of our dress, and this is what I'm just going to explain because at least I already have almost half the body or quarter the body of my dress. So I'm just going to do an explanation so you guys can like catch up with me, okay? So here I am, okay? These are my cups. I just tried to do a joining here. If you also want a closure up when you're working your next your other breast cup, you can just work a close up if you want closure. Okay, if you want closure, that's what you will do for your first and second shell, but it's not like necessary you need that. Okay. So once you have your breast cups complete, you will work a row of single crochet down here, just like I did. I have a row of single crochet, and this row of single crochet means for every double crochet post like this, you're going to work 2 single crochets into every double crochet post. Okay, so once you have all the single crochets done completely, you are going to now start working double crochets, just like you see. This is my first row of double crochet, and I worked them until I came to the end on this side. Once at the end, I worked chains that I know are fit enough to pass through my hips. So just do that. You'll work those chains, and now you'll just work 4 rows or 5 rows of double crochet. Literally 4 rows are enough. 4 rows of double crochets into every chain stitch and into every stitch until you get to where I am right now. Okay, that's exactly where I'm going to start from. So guys, once you have your 4 rows, now we are going to start increasing so we can like get width that is fit for our hips. Okay, so what we do here is we count all the stitches we have on the row one by one all the way around, and once you have the total number of stitches you have, you are going to divide that total number of stitches by 2. Okay, so once you divide, for example, let me say 100 by 2, you will get 50. So that means for every 50 on the side is where our hips are going to go. Okay, so you will count the stitches once again and mark your stitch. Okay, you mark the 50th, also this side you mark the 100th stitch. Okay, so here we are going to start increasing and working towards achieving our hips, width for our hips. This is what you will do. Okay, so for me, I'm just trying to attach as many colors as I possibly can because I wanted this to be to have all the Rastafarian colors. Make sure that when you're working your rows from here, you make sure that for every row you turn your work. Okay, it's very important. And remember, I have finished to mark my stitches. This is where I have to work and increase, and this is where I have to work and increase. I don't have stitch markers, so these are my acting stitch markers. Okay, so I'm going to yarn over into this very first stitch right there. I am going to work a double crochet, and I'll continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the marked stitch. So this is my marked stitch. Once I get at the marked stitch, this is what I'll do. I'll take out the stitch marker, and into that stitch I am going to work 2 double crochets, and then I'll continue with 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the other side where I have a marked stitch. So I'm going to let you guys run through so that once I am back, I show you what to do. So here I am. I'm approaching my marked stitch, so I'll just work into this last double crochet. Take out my acting stitch marker. Into that stitch I will work 2 double crochets, all in the very same stitch. Okay, now I'm going to continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way until I come to the end and work a slip stitch into the 2 chains that started this row. So that means For the next 3 rows, you are just going to do exactly what we have done, okay? You are going to work 2 double crochets in here and 2 double crochets in here, okay? Just like you see I have worked, okay? See that, and this, okay? And now this. So I want you guys to just follow exactly what we have done. Just work this row until you come to the end right here and work a slip stitch into these 2 chains. Then again chain 2, turn your work. Do the very same thing, working 2 double crochets where we just put 2 double crochets, because now you just know you don't need to count. You can just see it's very visible where you just put 2 double crochets. So just do that and do exactly what we have done for the next 3 rows, so that we have 4 rows in total of the increase, okay? Also just use your tape measure. If you know your measurements, work with your tape measure and check everything that you are working, okay? Because I believe this number of rows of the increase will be enough for us to like just go straight, because I know now it can like stretch out enough to fit, okay? Or if it has not yet given you the width of hips that you want, okay, you can just go ahead and increase a little more. Also measure what you are doing so that you have the right measurements, okay? So when I get back, I'm just going to be showing you how to work the rest of the body of your skirt, okay? So I have worked my rows of increase and I have attained the width of hips that I want, okay? You should be able to stretch your work out and find that it meets the width of your hips, okay? When it is stretched, because I want this to be like body hugging, okay? So once you have the width of the hips that you want, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to just work, let me just show you, chain 2 and turn your work. And now here we are going to just work 1 double crochet into every stitch, okay? So if you haven't yet achieved the width, you can go ahead and make your increases, like working 2 double crochets into the marked stitch whenever you get to the left and right hip, until you get the width of the hips that you want when you stretch your work, okay? Not like working your stitches until it meets, no. When you stretch your work, it should be able to meet the width of the hips that you're working this dress for. So once it has done that, you are just going to be working 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way around, okay? Just like this, for the length that you want for your dress, okay? So you will measure the length of your dress and make sure you're working the double crochets, the rows, the number of rows that you need for your length. But at least you should make sure it is about 2 inches short. For example, if you're working a 16-inch dress length, okay, from, I'm saying 16 from the high waist down to wherever it has to be, you must work up to like 14 so that the shell design can cover up the 2 inches, okay? Or not, you can just work up to 16 and then we can have the shell design cover up more 2 inches, if that's also okay. So I'm going to let you guys work your rows until you have the length of the dress you want. I'm also going to be working mine, so I'll just come back and show you how to work the shell design at the bottom of your dress, okay? So let me meet you guys there and then show you what to do. So as you can see, I have achieved the length I want for my dress, and that's how it looks like. It's going to be really super short, okay? but whichever length you have, just keep in mind that you have to work the shell stitch at the bottom. So whichever length you have to make sure you have 2 inches left at least to cover for the shell stitch, so that you don't turn up having a longer dress than you actually desired to have. Okay, now I am going to start working the shell design at the bottom. So here I am going to chain 4. Okay, I'll skip the very first stitch. Remember, I had to work a stitch in here, so I'm going to skip that and then skip the next. Now into the 3rd stitch, that's where I'm going to work my double crochet, and then chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, into the next you work a double crochet. So this is what we are going to do all the way around until we come to the end of our row. So once here, we are going to chain 4. Okay, we are going to skip this very first chain gap, and then in the middle of the next chain gap we work a single crochet. Okay, yarn over into the next chain gap, we are going to work 6 double crochets, and then we work a single crochet into the next double crochet stitch right there. Okay, so here we are going to chain 3, skip the first chain gap, in the middle of the next chain gap we work a single crochet. Okay, and then we chain 3 again, we skip the next chain. Okay, more like we skip this double crochet, and then at the end into this next double crochet right here we work a double crochet. So literally you must have skipped 2 stitches just like that. Okay, so here into this next chain gap we work 6 double crochets, and then work a single crochet into the next stitch. That's the double crochet stitch. Okay, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, that's 1, 2, and now into the next you work a single crochet. Okay, chain 3, skip 2, 1, 2, now into this you work a single crochet. Okay, into the next chain gap you work 6 double crochets, and then work a single crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, skip 2, 1, 2, and now into the chain gap you work a single crochet, chain 3, skip 2, 1, 2, now into this you work a single crochet. Okay, into the next chain gap you work 6 double crochets, and then work a single crochet into the next stitch right there. Okay, so this is what you are going to repeat until you come to the end of your row. Okay, so I'm going to meet you once you have done this completely, and now you just need to go to the next row. Okay, so it's not like my row has ended evenly, so what I'll do is into this very last chain gap I'm going to work a chain, but the very last chain you work, this is how you work it. You will chain 1, yarn over, insert your hook into the very first stitch right there, pull through yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all. So we have worked our chain 3, but then we are in the middle of it, and that's what I wanted. Okay, so here we are going to chain 3 and work a single crochet into the next chain gap just like that. Okay, yarn over, insert your hook into the next double crochet stitch and work a double crochet, chain 1, work a double crochet into the next, chain 1, do the same for the next until you have all 6 double crochets for this shell. So we have all 6 double crochets. So here we shall chain, work a single crochet into the next chain gap, just like that. See what we have. So here we chain 3 and into the next chain gap we work a single crochet. We do the same for this. We work a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch and then chain 1, work 1 double crochet into the next and chain 1, do the same until you have all 6 double crochets. So once you have all 6 double crochets, you work a single crochet into the next chain gap and then chain 3, work a single crochet in the next chain gap, yarn over, work a double crochet into the next double crochet for the next shell, chain 1, work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, work 1 double crochet in the next. So do this until you have all 6. Literally what I have showed you is what you are going to do all the way around for all the shells until you come back here, and there I'll show you how to work the last row for our shell. Okay, so here I am and this is my very last chain gap. So I'll chain 1, yarn over, insert my hook into the very first stitch and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all. Okay, so here we chain 3 to start our very last row and work a single crochet into the next chain gap, yarn over, insert your hook into the next double crochet stitch and work a double crochet. Now here we chain 3 and then get back into the very first chain gap, into the very first chain stitch and then work a slip stitch just like that, creating a picot. Okay, yarn over, skip 1 and into the next double crochet stitch you work a double crochet, chain 3, get back into the very first chain stitch of the 3 you just worked and then work a slip stitch, yarn over, skip 1, work a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, get back into the very first stitch and then work a picot just like that, yarn over, skip 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, chain 3 and get back, work a slip stitch into the first chain stitch, making a picot, yarn over, skip 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 3, get back and work a picot and then yarn over, skip 1 and work a double crochet into the very last stitch. Okay, now here you're going to work a single crochet into the next chain gap. So you see what we have, that's how it looks like. So even here we are going to do the same. We work a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch and then chain 3, work a picot, yarn over, skip 1, into the next double crochet stitch you work a double crochet. So just repeat this all the way around for every shell until you come to the end of it, and once you have come to the end of it you will work your chain stitches as you have to work them here. Okay, because we shall have come to the end of the bottom of our skirt. When I get back I'm going to show you how to work your straps. Okay, your straps for your breast cups, and then we shall mark the end of our dress. So as you can see my bottom is complete. Okay, now I am going to work on my straps. Okay, if you remember clearly this shell had 10 stitches, so I'm going to just count 1 2 3 4 5 6, and now these 3 here, the top 3 picots. It's the ones with which I'm going to work my strap, okay? So here is what you do. You insert your hook into one of the picot. Literally, we are just going to make our way into it. It won't be easy. And now you chain 4. Okay, get into the next picot and work a double crochet just like that. Chain 1 and get into the 3rd picot. Yeah, and work a double crochet just like that. Okay, so we are going to chain 4, turn our work, skip 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, work a double crochet into the 3rd chain stitch of the 4 that started the previous row. Okay, skip 1 and work a double crochet in the next. So this is what we are going to do. Chain 1 and skip 1, work a double crochet into the 3rd chain stitch. So this is what we are going to do all the way up until you have the length of the straps that you want. So guys, this is the back of my dress, and I just want to work just a few stitches so that I can have that sort of like drawstring going through at the back and tying, and also it will help draw together our dress at the back so it is perfectly fitting, since we don't have elastic strands in there. Okay, so for that, this is what we are going to do. As you can see, my straps are complete. Okay, now for this, we are going to get over here. As you can see, this is where the bend started for our breast cap. Okay, so I'm going to start from this second shell. This is half a shell, so this second shell right here, that's where I'm going to insert my hook into the picot. Okay, and pull through my yarn like that. So here I am going to chain 2 and work 2 double crochets into that very same stitch. Okay, now skip this next picot, and into this next one we work a single crochet like that. Chain 2, work. Okay, we are going to work 2 double crochets, then skip this picot. Into the next picot we work a single crochet just like that. We chain 2, work 2 double crochets in the very same stitch. Okay, skip this picot, and into the next picot you work a single crochet, chain 2, work 2 single crochets in the very same stitch, skip this picot, into the next picot. As you can see right there, we work a single crochet. You see what we are having? It may not make sense right now, but it will. So you chain 2 and work 2 single crochets in the very same stitch. Into the single crochet row that is under our bust, just below the breast caps, we work a single crochet, chain 2, work 2 double crochets in the very same stitch, and now into the double crochet stitch right there in this corner here, we work a single crochet. Okay, we chain 2, work 2 single crochets in the 2 double crochets in the very same stitch. So here we are going to skip 1, 2, 3. Into the 4th stitch we work a single crochet, chain 2, work 2 double crochets into the very same stitch, and skip 1, 2, 3 stitches, then work a single crochet in the next stitch. See that? So you're going to do this until you come to the end of your row. sorry, until you get here, and do the same just like we did up here. Do the same until you are exactly at the end of this second stitch. That's exactly where we started this kind of pattern. So do that until you are here, and then I'll get back and show you how to fix your drawstring into all this to have it draw at the back, draw together at the back. Okay, so guys, as you can see, this is how my work looks like. Okay, so you are going to get your hook, make a knot and work a number of chains, just enough for something like this, because this is what I'm going to keep passing through so that I can have this strap go all the way, this drawstring go all the way at the back. So here, I'll get into this from here. Okay, and now in between this, before that single crochet, that's where I'll go. Yes, and then come out in between this, go in right there, go out right there, and go in right there, and then go out right there. And as you can see, I can just get this all the way, pull it together to give me that fitted back, and then tie it at the back of my dress. Okay, so here I can say that we have our dress complete. I'll just get back and start cutting out all these peeping ends. Okay, also weaving my ends properly. But now that you know how to make your dress, I hope you have learned something from this tutorial and also mastered the art of working your shell stitches, okay, correctly. And yes, we shall call this the end of my tutorial. I hope you liked it. Let me see you all in my next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please endeavor to go and join my Facebook group. It's called Nita Crochets Community. You can always share works that you have made inspired by my work, and also maybe share anything you would love to see me show you how to do or how to make. Okay, so that we keep this whole creativity thing going on and on, or any challenges you want me to like hop onto and make tutorials for you guys to learn. Okay, thank you so much. Goodbye.